Nobody now support the kids them like me right now. We no kill youth, we a build youth. Big old man a uno me attack too. We a build youth, no we no kill youth. Big man a woman a uno me attack too. Send the youth them go to school, make them learn, set them brain at the real world. Then too, not the one where man a pushing on your hand and tell if you kill a next man. My G that the wrong. Ooh, that me know I'm not maker, that me know for sure. Everything where me reap so far I me grow. On the league board, me up the top score. I'm a non-stop right, yeah, something I go give them more. Hey, hey, what we say?
Girl Links here, and welcome to Come Make We Chat. And you don't know, we're gonna talk about the things them that nobody wants to talk about. Come make we chat. Come make we talk. Come make we chat.
Come make we chat. And the real thing that they think this up now, Madlinqz, I don't know what you know what genus. Tina's finest represented for this one. Girl, I wanna love you.
Warrior energy. Warrior nation, yeah. Wagwan family, you don't know it's your girl Links here, and welcome back to Come Make We Chat. It is a beautiful day in the six. Matter of fact, it's been a beautiful week here in the six. Hope everybody is out there enjoying the weather today. I know I got a chance to get out there and enjoy the weather and look at some of the beautiful greenery all around the city. Yes. Shout outs to everybody chilling in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Shout outs to everybody chilling in all of the chat rooms. Big up yourself. You don't know where they have to talk the thing them when nobody no want talk about. Big up all north side, south side, east side, west side, Scarborough. Big up the whole Durham region, Pickering, Ajax. You don't know. Big up the whole Saga side. Big up the whole Daddy Brown family. Big up Johnny Ringo out on iLive Radio. Big up the whole iLive Radio family. You don't know. Big up all Jean Street, Eglinton, Oakwood, St. Clair, Lansdowne, Whole Western Road, Keel Street, Western Road. Big up everybody. All north side, south side, east side, west side, Rexdale. Big up everybody. You don't know I love what's around here, around here, around here. So, what has been going on in the city? And let me just see. Can you hear me out there? Let me just check. How me sound out there? How me sound? How me sound? How me sound? Tell me, somebody, please tell me how me sound. Let me give it a 1-2 myself. Yada 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 yada. Shout outs Karen Delight. Big up my friend IB and Ja all the way out in Ghana. See it there? Well, we're live and we're loud. That sounds good. So what is going on in the city today now? What is going on in the city here? Yay, 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 yay. So the first thing up outside of the beautiful, beautiful weather today is this case here. I seen it pop up on the news feed, and it says Toronto police have upgraded charges against a Toronto rapper to first-degree murder in connection with the shooting outside a parking garage in North York in January. It left one 20-year-old student dead. So apparently, on the evening of January 31st, emergency crews were called to the area of Jane and Falstaff for the reports of the sound of automatic gunfire. Police said Hashim Omar Hashi was in his car waiting to enter the parking garage of his building when a suspect approached the passenger side and fired numerous shots at him. He was pronounced dead at the scene. And this story comes from CTV News. Just put in our sources there. About 2 weeks after the shooting, police announced that two people had been taken into custody in connection with the incident, including 22-year-old Hassan Ali, who is pictured here above. Um, on Thursday, which is today, police said charges have been upgraded and he is now wanted for first-degree murder and 3 counts of failed to comply with recognizance. Police did not say how he was released from custody, but they are now appealing for help in locating him. He is believed to be violent and dangerous. Do not approach. Call 911 immediately. So that was the first thing that jumped up. And I don't know, for those of you living in the Toronto area, this is pretty much what you would see, you know? The first thing that jumped up on the news today. So I figured I would talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory, no? And in moving along, Toronto Catholic and elementary teachers' work to rule would include limiting comments on report cards. Now, I mean, is it me or does it seem like every year these teachers go on strike? It's like you have 2 seasons, summer and strike season. There's no longer a class. Even before COVID, teachers were on strike. Why is this? Why are we sabotaging the education of our youth? Why are we not more concerned? So now the Catholic School Board is warning that their teachers and elementary teachers at that are planning a work to rule that would include consequences for students amidst a pandemic. And I'm going to put that in quotes. Quote, includes consequences for students amidst a pandemic. That sounds so diplomatic. The memo sent to principals and obtained by the Star also accuses the union of jumping the gun on job action, which would start Tuesday, May 25th, after 6 bargaining sessions. And says the union rejected a deal similar to that reached with its high school teachers. The Toronto Elementary Catholic Teachers Union, known as TECT, is poised to release details of the work to rule Thursday in a notice to members sent Wednesday night. Tech says that teachers are not to put comments in report cards, save for one comment about religious instruction, and not to partake in any voluntary activities, including yearbooks and graduations, which will likely be virtual this year because of COVID. The remaining work to rule actions are largely administrative, but also include no grade to grade transition meetings or reports. It's kind of getting a little bit disrespectful, isn't it? It's happening in Catholic schools, it's happening in public schools, and really, in my opinion, the person to blame is our government because they have never been concerned with the people. All of these cuts to schools, all of these cuts to teachers' salaries has resulted in this strike season. You know, they don't go back to work after summer. They go back, they come off of strike. I think we could do better. Teachers to me are very important. And it seems that there's always some kind of argument between the government and the teachers for some reason or another. I get it. This one is because they don't pay you for the things you do voluntarily. Things that you used to be paid for, in my generation, you no longer are paid for. Like sports, like extra time before and after school used to mark and tutor. You know, you're no longer paid those overtime hours, and I get it. But I mean, taking it out on your students is not really the way to do it because what you're doing is you're actually sabotaging the work. The work is to educate, right? And I think that instead of wasting all of this time on, striking and union, maybe your union should form some sort of class action suit against the government. Just is just my opinion. Some kind of class action suit that would allow you to receive your overtime for the overtime work that you do. But, that's just my theory. And also in the news, Toronto is, I think the first thing I saw was this, is Ontario plans to reopen and allow patio dining and non-essential retail in June. And I was like, yay, they're going to reopen the place. And then I saw this, which said, Toronto to unlock tennis courts and open up golf courses for the long weekend. And then my heart was like, Courtesy of the Toronto Star, thank you very much. Dated today by David Ryder, City Hall Bureau Chief. So my question is this. Why is it okay for our government to open tennis courts and golf courses amidst a pandemic? It really makes no sense. I mean, these are activities for wealthy people. So is our government trying to say to us that the wealthy are not as contagious or susceptible to COVID as the rest of us? I was quite put off, quite frankly, by this. You don't want to open basketball court. And the funny thing is that in this, I'm not going to go through it with you. But the funny thing to me is that in the ad, they have a picture of a basketball court, which is quite ironic. Quite ironic. Because basketball courts are closed. And apparently, golf courses and tennis courts, you can't transfer COVID there. This is Canada. Anyway, moving on. And this comes courtesy of CP24. Here's how Ontario plans to reopen over the summer months. Doug Ford has released, and this is courtesy of Miriam Katawazi. Big up yourself, girl. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has released a 3-step plan that will see outdoor and indoor activities and sectors reopen over the coming months. The Premier announced the details during a news conference on Thursday, saying that the 3-step plan would be tied to vaccination rates and intensive care numbers. Some changes to outdoor recreational amenities are expected to come this weekend, which would see golf courses and tennis courts reopen as early as May 22nd. Outdoor limits for social gatherings and organized public events will also be expanded on Saturday, which will allow some amenities to be used by up to 5 people. These amenities include driving ranges, Soccer and other sports fields. Oh, nice. You could play basketball. Tennis and basketball courts and skate parks. No outdoor sports or recreational classes are permitted. So you could play sports, but you can't practice. Is that what I'm getting? You can't practice sports. CTV News Toronto has compiled a breakdown of the province's three-step plan, including information on when each step is estimated to begin, what will reopen, and what needs to happen for it to start. Step 1. This step is expected to begin on June 14th, or 2 weeks after 60% of adults in Ontario have at least one dose of a COVID 19 vaccine. 60%. Does that not sound like 2/3? Okay. Ontario officials said 58.5% of the adult population have received a first dose as of Thursday. They added that the province would need to wait 2 weeks after hitting the vaccination target before entering the first step in order to monitor the vaccine outcome. Now, why would they need to monitor the vaccine outcome? And we can answer that very quickly. Is the COVID vaccine FDA approved? And the answer is not for everybody. No, it's not approved. But yet, you need to monitor people. Why? Because it's not approved, so they haven't tested it. So they're doing a mass test on the populace, in my opinion, a global test. Anyways, in stage 1, outdoor activities and gatherings will be first to open, but with some restrictions and limits. So here's a full list of what will be allowed. Outdoor gatherings for up to 10 people. Outdoor dining for up to 4 people per table. Non-essential retail at 15%. Outdoor religious services, rites, and ceremonies with capacity limited to permit 2 meters of physical distancing. Outdoor sports, training, and personal training for up to 10 people. Day camps, campsites, and campgrounds. Ontario parks. Outdoor horse racing and motor speedways. Outdoor pools, splash pads, and wading pools. Notice for the outdoor horse racing, motor speedways, outdoor pools, splash pads, wading, they don't give a limit. Anyway, step 2. The second step could begin in July, or when 70% of the population in Ontario has received their first dose and 20% has received 2 doses. In this stage, some indoor activities and gatherings will be permitted, and outdoor restrictions will be loosened further. Here's a full list of what will be allowed. Outdoor gatherings for up to 25 people. Indoor gatherings for up to 5 people. Outdoor dining for up to 6 people per table. Essential retail at 50% capacity, non-essential retail capacity at 25%, personal care services where face coverings can be worn at all times, outdoor meeting and event spaces, outdoor amusement and water parks, outdoor tour operations, boat tour operations, sorry, outdoor county fairs and rural exhibitions, outdoor sports leagues and events, outdoor cinemas, performing arts, live music, events, and attractions. Step 3. And this step 3, so we're talking step 1 is June, step 2 is July, step 3 is August, right? The final step would see life return mostly back to normal and could begin in August or when 70 to 80% of adults in Ontario have received at least one dose of the vaccine and 25% have received both doses. So they're not even really concerned with everybody getting the vaccine. They just want at least 2/3. In this stage, the province would see rules around indoor gatherings finally unravel. Here's a full list of what will be allowed. Larger indoor-outdoor gatherings. The province did not specify a limit. Essential and non-essential retail, but with limited capacity. Notice they don't specify a limit. Larger indoor religious services, rites, and ceremony gatherings. Again, no limit. Indoor meeting and event spaces, indoor sports and recreational facilities, indoor seated events, indoor attractions and cultural amenities, casino and bingo halls. Other outdoor activities from step 3 will be permitted to operate indoors. And as you see at the bottom of the screen here, they have this little, I don't even know what to call it. I'm going to say graph, showing you how they have it set up to work. That's what's going on right now, family. That's what's going on right now. Ay, 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 ay. And so, before we get into my normal COVID update, before we get into my normal COVID update here, what I would like to show you is this. We have some very talented people here in the city, and they've been doing some great work. And I've also been working on a mini series called Trance Lounge with the help of Zolja. Big up Zolja. We've been doing some great work here, working on this comedy series. So look out for it. Coming this fall on YouTube. And what I'd like to do right now is I would like to introduce you to one of our patrons at Trance VIP Lounge.
I'm Tanya, aka Fitness Finesse. Just welcome to Trans Lounge. A lot of unordinary people come here. A lot of crazy shit happens here. You want to see what happens next? Stay tuned.
So that was Finesse. And I have another patron from the Trans VIP Lounge we'd like you to meet.
My name is Angela, you know they call me Fire. Me and my girls them come to Trans Lounge all the time, pop bottles, you know how we do. And if you want to continue to watch, stay tuned. My name is Angela, you know they call me Fire. Me and my girls them come to Trans Lounge all the time, pop bottles, you know how we do. And if you want to continue to watch, stay tuned.
So there you have it, family. Coming this fall, it's Trans VIP Lounge right here on the Links Entertainment Station. And we're going to be going live soon. Look out for the radio station coming shortly. We are definitely about to blow this thing. And then finally, as I always do, I save the best for last. Right? And the best right now is this right here. Yes, family, it's the COVID update. I seem to have found the epicenter for this COVID update thingamajigger bob here. Let me just reload this page. Because the funny thing happens sometimes when you reload it, the numbers start moving. Let's see if that happens today. Okay, so they've done moved. Oh, they jumped a little. Oh, they jumping. I'm telling you. The funniest thing about this thing is that the numbers move. But not in the way you would expect them to. See, the first column is confirmed cases, right? You got Ontario, USA, global. I don't know why, if I'm looking in a Canadian site, why they need to tell me about the USA. But I guess, right? And then I look at the deaths, which is the second column. And then I look at the recovered, which is the third column. And then I look at the active, which is the fourth column. And what I notice is, although all of the columns move, the last two always seem to move more. The last two. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I like to perform my own experiments. And in my experiment of common sense, I learned that this COVID thing, more people are beating it than are dying from it. Far more people. Matter of fact, if you look up the Center for Disease Control, more people die from a common cold, flu, than people that are dying from COVID. And if you also look up the Center for Disease Control, it seems that the flu has disappeared. Nobody caught the flu. Isn't that weird? That doesn't seem odd. Anyway, family. You don't know where they have to talk the thing them when nobody no want talk about. And me say who that me that I represent the T that. Mad Rasta. Big up yourself, family. One love.
Nobody now support the kids them like me right now. We no kill youth, we a build youth. Big woman a man a uno me a talk to. We a build youth, no we no kill youth. Big man a woman a uno me a talk to. Send the youth them go a school, make them learn, set them brain at the real golden tool. Not the one where man a pushing on your hand and tell if you kill a mix man, my G that the wrong. Ooh, that me know I'm not maker, that me know for sure. Everything where me reap so far I me grow. On the league board, me up the top score. I'm a non-stop right, yeah, something I go give them more. Hey, hey, what we say?
Girlings here, and welcome to Come Make We Chat. And you don't know, we're gonna talk about the things them that nobody wants to talk about. Come make we chat, come make we talk, come make we chat.
Come make we chat. And the real thing that they think this a flop. Madlinqz, I don't know what you know what genius. TD's finest represented for this one. Girl, I wanna love you.